Welcome, mountain bikers. Thanks for tuning in to the Inside Line podcast. Can you believe we're into our 6th year of doing these things? Hard to believe. I was fortunate enough to close out my 2022 by getting out of the cold and snow of Boise, Idaho, heading down to Southern California, and meeting up with the Santa Cruz Syndicate. In a whirlwind of a day, I was able to steal away a few minutes with each of the riders. Got Greg Minnaar, Nina Hoffman, Laurie Greenland, Jackson Goldstone. We even got Steve Peat on the microphone for what we're going to call his first official podcast.
What is a podcast?
May only say about 20, 30 words total, but Petey, you're so anti-podcast that we're going to count it. In some of the haste of the day, setting up the equipment, there's a little bit of an audio hiccup and the sound's not quite 100%, or at least what I'd hope for, but you can hear everything, and I really hope you enjoy the show. Thank you so much to Maxxis Tires, Santa Cruz Bicycles for supporting the show over the years, and JensenUSA.com. They've been with the Inside Line since day one, and if you use coupon code INSIDELINE, all one word at checkout, you can save 10% off qualifying items. Have either of you ever gone straight from a ride to the shower with your kid on?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I've done that. I did it in Mosey when I was a kid. Yeah.
Just go get cleaned off, like straight away?
Easy, yeah. Full waterproofs, go straight to the shower. Yeah, then you can strip down afterwards.
When you're flying, you've got the tray table with the seat in front of you, you know? Do you have to have that knob perfectly aligned up and down, or do you not care?
I do actually, yeah. Why is that?
I don't know, I was flying here, and like every time I get on a flight, if that thing's not perfectly straight up and down, I have to fix it. So figured I'd ask you guys.
I can see that. I'd probably keep it pretty dialed.
Like
Not too fussed, but I'll have it fairly dialed.
Like if you see it crooked, you're not going to change it?
Nah, mainly just keep that tray down, From the COVID times, you've got to get the food laid out and keep the mask off.
And you're sitting in a regular seat. I assume you guys always probably fly baller first class stuff all the time.
Uh-huh.
Do you have to have the tray table knob straight up and down? You know, the little switch do you have to have it straight up and down?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I'm straight up and down. You're kind of, you know what? It's satisfying to like put it right in the middle. So
I think you're looking at us like crazy YouTube.
Yeah.
do you have it sideways?
I tried to follow you what you actually mean now. No, I got it. No, I got it now.
Who's
And
catching
I'm a yes, yeah.
Are there any other OCD things about you?
I have bad OCD because I'm quite messy.
Look in his room.
He has no OCD.
Yeah, I have no OCD when it comes to cleaning my room and clothes. It's usually a bit of an explosion. So,
Yeah.
unless I'm like staying somewhere for like more than a week, then I'll usually like unpack my stuff. But yeah, if it's like I'm only in and out for like maybe 2-3 days, then
Every World Cup's a week long and you just blow up as soon as you get there.
some of them are better. Snowshoe I was better. Like depends on the vibe in the room.
All right, Nina, what about you? Anything you're super particular about? OCD?
Maybe my breakfast.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Want some eggs?
Want some eggs? No, I don't want no, I just love to do my own breakfast by myself, just having my oats and my flaxseed with it and doing like an oatmeal and
Cacao.
cacao. I always travel with my cacao powder and some more ingredients. And I love
she likes
to have
to,
my
she likes
oats.
to cook her own meals. We had a chef on the team last year, and she would never come for breakfast. I'd always be alone.
I actually was flying here. Did I tell you guys? So the pilot's like, yeah, we're going to take off from San Jose. It's going to be a little bumpy on the takeoff. And when we come into land in Orange County, it's going to be really bumpy. So make sure you're seated. Then they give us all water on the flights. And I'm like prepared for this.
Yeah.
And the air hostess comes through. She goes, we're going to be hitting the really bad turbulence in about 8 minutes. So
Really
let's
bad.
look."
Perfect
I'm
timing.
like, what? And bro, we landed. It was hardly a bump. Like somehow it must have moved away but I was shitting myself.
All right, Greg to Laurie, Laurie to Greg. Do you know what foot they ride forward?
Yep.
What foot does Greg ride forward?
Left foot forward.
Is that true?
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm just trying to figure out what. Yeah, Are you left as well?
Yeah, right.
Right.
What ding 1 point.
See if you can answer about the person next to you. Which foot do they ride forward?
What foot? When you're riding,
You are the left forward.
you sure about that?
I'm fucking sure about that. I'm sure.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Okay, I'm left foot forward.
Do you know why I'm sure about that?
No.
Because we had this discussion 3 days ago at the photo shoot with Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
we
were
did.
asking if you're goofy or regular, and then everybody was left foot forward except of Laurie.
Laurie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laurie
Yeah,
was
it was,
right
yeah.
foot
So
forward.
you're left foot
I'm
forward.
left
That,
foot
she
forward
just
as
gave me
well.
the answer there. I didn't know.
Have either of you ever trained switch? You know, consciously or just do it for fun?
Never.
There's been times where like I've had to ride sections switch forward, like switch foot,
How come?
because like you come out of a pedal stroke or something and then like couldn't get a full pedal stroke and all of a sudden my feet are the other way and I can't flip them in a mid rock garden or something like that. I've had that a couple times, but I don't train it usually.
Okay.
Feels awkward having
It
the
feels-
wrong foot in front.
It feels like your feet are like doing a
Exactly,
lunge, like
yeah.
they're super far apart. So it's super weird.
And you don't have balance.
Yeah.
Maybe when you're on a long trail and it's loads of berms and you're in one position for the whole time, your legs start to like ache
Yeah.
a little bit. You ride the opposite way for a little bit.
Sometimes that happens, yeah.
Which way do you turn better, left or right?
Left.
What about you?
I turned right better because in my last 3 races, every time I crashed, it was on the left-hand corner. So,
Good answer.
yeah, I guess I would turn right better.
Which way do you turn better, left or right?
I definitely turn left better.
Did you not see us crash in Val de Sol?
It was a right-hander.
It was a
Terrible.
What about you, Greg? Which way do you turn best?
I don't mind.
Oh, Mr.
I don't know,
If
I
it
don't
has to be an off camber with some roots in, you must have a preferred side.
No,
No,
no.
either
No.
or.
Yeah.
It's just that old and that experience.
No, yeah.
Yeah, well, that much. Well trained.
Well trained.
Yeah, I don't mind either way. Whipping though, I prefer one way to another.
Well, that's the next. Which way do you whip best? Having your wheel
Like
out to the
that way.
left or to the right?
Yeah, it's to the left. Doesn't go out very far, but it does go to the left.
Depends what bike I'm on.
Really? How come?
If I'm on a dirt jump bike and I do a kick out, I'll go front wheel turning left. On the downhill bike, more of a scrubby one, I might do turning right. Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
either way, I guess.
What way do you whip better?
To the left for me.
Yeah. No, like what is like
Okay.
if
Your back wheel goes
to the right,
Yeah, so my
So
back
I'm
wheel
turning
goes
like
to the
left. and then back becomes yeah.
Yeah.
So if I would do a left turn.
All right, now all 3 of you were at the U.S. Open. Nina, you won. Congrats.
Thank you.
Did Jackson get ripped off at the best whip contest?
I mean, I wasn't too fussed on that best whip contest. I had one really good whip that I almost crashed on, and then when it came to the finals, they weren't as good. So, yeah, I don't really care. It was just for fun, anyways. But yeah,
Okay, you've got your tire pressure, your bar width, or your lever angle. If one of those has changed, which one's going to mess you up the most?
Well, we know what Greg's going to be.
Or 3.
If Greg's levers aren't flat, game over. If they aren't level,
Yeah. I would say brake levers. They're going to be at the right angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does tire pressure mess with you that much?
You can get by with,
if
either,
it's too
'cause
far
you're-
out, game over. But within a bracket, you're all good.
Okay.
Did you say bar width as well?
Width. Yeah.
Yeah, bar width for
Mm.
me is the biggest one.
Yeah, you're a fussy man on the bars.
I need the bars.
What's your width? What's his width?
765? 760?
Yeah, I did try 770 for a little bit.
Mm.
And then, yeah,
Around 765 normally.
Okay. And you can tell if that's...
just to make it awkward for me cutting them down, I think.
Yeah.
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 Might maybe get 0.25 this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell straight where this out.
Okay. Bar width for you, does it matter? They always like 850,
Just 800.
800?
Yeah.
Always?
Standard, yeah.
Which would give you the least amount of trouble if you messed with one of them? Bar width, lever position, or tire pressure?
I'd say for me, out of those three, bar width, tire pressure, and brake angle, I think that the tire pressure would affect me the least.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, you know, I know how to ride a trail at 30 psi, and I know how to ride a trail at under like 20 psi. So, yeah. I think that's probably the easiest thing, because as soon as you go like wider in bars, like if you run like super wide bars, it is the hardest thing to do, because your whole body position changes, and then
lever
same
position
with
is
brake
so
height,
important.
You're so used to one thing, and then when you change it, you may only think that you're changing your position of your hands, but it changes a lot of how your muscles work. So,
and you can adjust quite easy or well to different types of tire pressure. I mean, if it's crazily more, then of course you're struggling, but like just a few psi should be alright, but no wider bars on narrow ones, or not like brakes would be the worst. They are changed, the levers.
Okay. Which would you rather have? Good tires and crappy suspension, or crappy tires and good suspension?
Good suspension.
good suspension's a big one. But crappy tires do suck.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I mean, you obviously want the best of the best.
It affects the suspension as well.
Yeah.
Tires are crap.
Yeah.
What about you, old guy?
What was the question?
Oh.
Would you rather have crappy tires and good suspension, or crappy suspension and good tires?
Definitely not crap tires.
I guess you ran some pretty crap suspension in the past, so I'm pretty used to it.
Well, it wasn't crap at the time.
Yeah.
It was ahead of its time at the time, but it would be crap now if you went back on it.
Yeah.
Would you rather have crappy tires and good suspension, or crappy suspension and good tires?
Good tires, bad suspension.
Oh, I'd probably go with the good suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you go for, Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have good suspension, I think. I think there's a lot of crap tyres out there, but it depends how crappy we're talking.
Definitely going in now.
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, I'm in trouble.
You absolutely ruined it.
All right, Greg, this is about Laurie.
Mm.
What was the most impressive thing you saw him do this year?
Surfing. Man. I
Ah,
want to see this guy rip.
For real?
don't know about that.
And then he goes from this laid back surfer generally into race mode beast, which is just like the total opposite. Like you see him, if you met him at a race, like just before a race, he's completely different to when you meet him generally. It's like
true.
a surfer to a racer in a matter of minutes. It's pretty impressive, but the surfing is unbelievable.
All right, Laurie, about Greg. What's the most impressive thing you saw him do this year?
I think his ability to turn around a weekend that's going badly through a sheer process of elimination. Just go through absolutely everything until he's back in the game. But yeah, definitely I've seen him pretty gutted on day one of the World Cup and then be at the sharp end by the end of the weekend. So I think definitely for me, I can get stuck in a rut of that bad vibe in a race week, whereas Greg can claw himself out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, for both of them, most impressive things you saw them do this year.
I think for Laurie riding injured in Leger, so
Oh shit.
yeah, after he hurt his foot and his perseverance and just like
Stamina
mental
there.
strongness just to get through it, yeah, just to push through and still be able to
Yeah, that
get a good result.
That's like probably the most
Yeah, and
underrated or less spoken about result. Like,
yeah, not a lot of people knew at the time that he broke his foot and
Missed
he's out
days
there.
of practice.
Yeah, missed a full day of practice for being sick and yeah, and then pushed through and had a good result.
and then Valdesel was only a week later
Yeah,
with broken foot.
Yeah, I was finished by that point.
one
Yeah.
too many slams, and
Finished.
I think for Greg was when we met up at pre-season testing, and he hadn't spent any time on the downhill bike.
Oh yeah, that
And
was
yet
ridiculous.
he was-
Then he's posting
Yeah.
times better than me.
He
Jackson,
sits
straight
there.
off the bat.
He sits there snoozing for 3 runs, and then sees the time the boys have put down, and obviously he's got to put himself back on top. So, and he sure did.
What's the most impressive thing the person next to you did in 2022?
Winning Fort William for Nina here. How much did she win by? 4s?
3.6, I think.
Winning Fort William by 3
5.
seconds was
Well,
definitely
right.
pretty impressive.
Jackson, there were so many. Hardline for sure. That was
Hardline?
the craziest thing on earth.
That's
But
what I thought she was gonna say.
But probably, I think in general, your consistency, like mostly always pinning it on race day, putting down a good run, and being up in the top 10 of the elite times when track was comparable
Yeah,
and stuff. But
Hardline was pretty good.
Hardline was the one, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe my mind when I saw it. This little kid.
Was that Hardline win bigger for you than a World Cup win?
So the funny thing about Hardline is like anytime someone comes up to me that is like, oh, like congratulating me on something like of my season, as soon as I won Hardline, that's the only thing that people remember. It's like everyone's like, congrats on Hardline, congrats on Hardline, congrats on Hardline, and then since then, no one's actually even cared about the World Cup. So,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, obviously they care, but yeah, no one's been Hardline trumps at all. Where I think, for me, some of the World Cup races, I actually felt like I performed better and had a tougher competition with, some in Hardline, some of the guys crashed. Where, in the World Cups, it was flat out. So I'd say, yeah, probably Mont Saint Anne was one of my most, best race round and one of the most proud moments of the year, I think, because, home crowd, and then to put that run down, it was good.
If you could have a do-over in 2022, what would it be?
I would take my Leo Gang loop out and not loop out, basically.
Okay.
I'd come into a section of track with some flat rollers, and I decided to try and do a triple manual through them all to gain a bit of speed. But I didn't need the extra speed. I looped off the back on the most simple bit of track, and I just crossed the first split 3 seconds up, which has got to be my best ever top split. Got back on the bike and I was 5 seconds back at the next split. So yeah, that was stupid. It was really stupid. But yeah, I'd take the injury at the end of the year because injuries happen. I was tired. It was like understandable, but just flying off the back of my bike so recklessly for no reason was not cool.
All right, what about you?
She's had a couple this year.
Simba's leap.
Yeah, I'd like to redo.
Felt bad for you there.
Yeah, I'd like to redo Mont Saint Anne. I just shouldn't have committed, and I just didn't want to back down, and still try to do that gap down the bottom, and yeah, it just would have been a nice result, Mont Saint Anne. But it's like that for me. It's like I've had one win and then like a bunch of crashes and a bunch of terrible races, but like good qualifyings and like so it's like this mixed emotion place, and then this year felt okay. Would have been. There was no ways I would have challenged Finn or anyone else, but it would have been maybe a top 5 or so. So
Yeah,
it
I
would be
think
nice.
you were on form for a podium for sure.
Yeah, so it would have been nice. That would have been a nice redo.
Do you have any do-overs?
How many do-overs? I didn't seem to slip up this year. So
And
it's
what about your
good
scrub
sign.
and Morzine?
My what? Sorry.
What about
scrub,
your
pre-season scrub?
Pre-season scrapping.
what about your bar slip bag?
Yeah, I had a big problem with my own mechanical skills.
Parts and couldn't
Yeah.
get the purchase on the bars. I think.
Yeah, I made an error and tested something, and it resulted in my bars rolling back in the stem, and
He broke his
had a
back,
huge-
both his
huge
wrists.
crash, and yeah, smoked
Are you
myself.
serious?
Yeah, yeah.
And to be fair, he showed up 2 days later at Leogang World Cup after surgery.
Full of opioids.
and
Had a lovely time.
pushed through, and yeah, it was quite impressive actually.
I changed a few tyres.
Gazzy B helped.
Gazzy B
They
helped.
were like a
We were a duo from then on.
duo.
Mm.
If you could have one do-over from 2022, what would it be?
I need a few actually.
Oh, it would be Lenzerheide probably, and not having a flat tire in my race run.
Yeah.
Because this would have put me onto probably third overall.
Okay. So I mean, that's a hard one for me. If I were to have one rerun, it'd either be
Worlds.
probably it would probably be world champs or Val d'Isole. I mean, world champs I think would be a bigger deal. So yeah, I'd say a rerun in that would be pretty legendary because I had some 2 crashes in that race run that I would love to fix.
All right. Okay, at the first World Cup, you have to do one of two things. Either race flat pedals or race in shorts. What would it be?
Shorts.
Oh, shorts.
100% shorts.
Shorts, yeah. You may look like a little different, but
Different. You look interesting.
at least you won't go slower because I think I personally ride slower on flat pedals.
Does the shorts have a twat gap though?
Yes.
Of course. Yeah.
Is that the criteria to decide?
Makes it tougher.
All right, this will be the last one. What are you looking forward to most about 2023 with the person next to you?
Well, I mean, I could say what I'm not looking forward to most is
Waking up at 6 a.m. with me.
yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to not waking up, but yeah, I'll be leaving Nina in B practice, which is sad.
I can do it.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. So yeah, I'm moving up an age category, and I'll finally get to be in the A practice, which is definitely huge.
Yeah, just have some good time with you, huh?
So
What are you looking forward to most about 2023 with your team?
I think the thing I'm most looking forward to is it just starting again. For me, it was a big change last year, going from brand to brand, getting to know everyone. It was quite a big step, but just to know everyone, feel at home, and just actually start it up again. I'm like, just this trip's our first team camp of the year, and I'm already. We were driving down here yesterday, and I was thinking, can't believe how long it is till the first World Cup. Pretty gutted about it. I want to. We got a few new things in the works, and we're going to be pretty ready to race, I think. Yeah.
Greg, what are you looking forward to most?
Yeah, we just have a good time as a team. I mean, we came over for a Christmas party. It seemed like a week Christmas party.
Non-stop party.
Non-stop. And now we've got a trip in the end of Jan. So, yeah, it's going to be... I need to get training and I need to get rid of a bit of a dad bod. But hopefully when I meet the guys down in Australia in end of Jan,
He'll be chiseled.
we're going to go back to some good team camp testing and riding. And I'm looking forward to that. It's good. You know, the season's short. It's it's nice to be back on a downhill bike, ripping it up. I think that's what I'm going to be most excited for.
I'm pretty looking forward to just taking a few things I learned last season and putting them into play this year as well. Definitely, like for me, a lot of the fatigue side of it is going to be just paying a bit more attention to that stuff and kind of putting it in play in a bit more of a wise manner at some point. So it can be, yeah, I'm looking forward to feeling good. That makes sense.
Yeah, just keen to get back to the first team camp, I think. I like pre-season testing for a mechanic. I think it's really cool because there's obviously a lot of new things you want to try, and like you finish on where you've been at the end of one season, going into the next, it's cool to try some different things and get that out of the way, and you can get a bit more experimental in testing than you can when you're at a race, I think. Yeah.
It's pretty cool sometimes as well. We'll go to a team camp, test stuff. I might come away scratching my head a little bit with certain things, and I can actually hand it over to Lee for him to try himself as well, and then he tests it, he gets it, and then brings it back to me, and that's been pretty cool working like that in the past as well. good enough rider to actually test stuff until he crashes.
For 2.5 minutes of a 5-minute track. I'll be all right.
We're out. Let's go ride.
Oh, is that it? Are we done?
Sound.
Always easy.
What's something about the person next to you that most people don't know?
Ooh.
Don't look at me like this.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, I could say something stupid, but I could say something nice.
I know. Say whatever say what's on your mind. 'Cause I need some.
Like, yeah, first, I mean, but actually, first, when you think about Jackson Goldstone, think like, oh, this crazy little guy who's doing mad things all the time. But actually, like, in your heart, you're a pretty nice person.
Oh.
You know, like, I can deal with him quite well. And that's what you don't see at the first look, I think.
Thank you, Nina. What did people?
You don't need to
think
say
So he's a
something.
dick when you first see him?
You don't need to say something.
I don't know what to say for you.
That's all right.
I
what
honestly
you could
don't.
say.
But I don't know.
Say something
You've got nothing wrong. Let's say about that.
about Saturday night.
Sorry.
Friday
Say
night.
something about Saturday night.
I didn't know if I wanted to go there or not. But
You can.
okay. Something that no one will know about Nina is she's actually the second person on the team to have a neck injury in the last year. Greg being the first. Maybe slightly intoxicated Nina fell down some stairs and
Don't say I fell down some stairs. I was sliding down the banister.
sliding down the
I was doing something cool.
Yeah, she was grinding and then
She was grinding.
doing a grind and then
And there was something in my way.
hit someone. fell
And then
down
hit
another
myself.
flight of stairs and was in a neck brace the next day. So she's doing all right now though.
Yeah, I'm still fucking stiff, but